But the Jews tried to teach that you had to earn salvation by earning credits, by countless deeds of the law. And they taught that salvation belongs only to the Jews, and touch somebody and say, nobody else. As we sang the song, Jesus is mine, I wanted to get into that because, and Larry, I'm sorry I took over some of your songs, but you know, anybody that confess with their mouth and believe in their heart can have Jesus. But here Paul teaches us, challenging the Jewish teaching, he calls them three things. Carefully chosen to throw their claims back upon them. Beware of the dogs. It's the first thing that he teaches us here. The second thing, he says, beware of evil workers. And thirdly, he said, beware of manipulation. Amen. You got to watch them dogs. Now here, I have to say this. That's why I tell people, you never go to church without your sword. And when a preacher preaches something, you always have the opportunity to ask him to explain. And if you disagree, then sit at his feet long enough and he may teach you how to walk right. Beware of false prophets, though. False prophet may be one that tells you this is the way it is, period, and you don't have the right to question me. If they question Jesus, what make you think? They can't question you. But here's the hook, here's the hook, here's the hook. When you question Jesus and he began to give you the answer, all you can do is just strap it on and just deal with it. With most of us, in today's time, we love our dogs. We'll put them in our car. Just today, I was in a meeting in Lenore, and the lady came in, two ladies came in, one with one of them poodle dogs all the way up to my table, and I said, whoa, I didn't think you could have that in the restaurant. And then the other one had one of those little old, well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And the lady that I was meeting with on the conference level, she said, I didn't know you can have dogs in restaurants. All I'm going to say is you got to watch them dogs. Some of y'all that have dogs in your car, and you leave your car running with a chance of it being stolen because you don't want it to get too hot. Some of y'all have dogs, and your husband may not want him in the bed, so you go out and buy the dog their own bed. Today, we love dogs more than anything else. But there was a different understanding in the biblical days. Paul was teaching them that the dogs were pariah dogs. A pariah dog is a stray dog that typically lives around a settlement. A pariah dog is one that they talked about in those days because they was like pack dogs. They was always going around looking in somebody's garbage and trash. But a pariah person is one that is hated and rejected. But sometimes I feel people in the church today, they're supposed to be saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled, but they have a pariah spirit. They don't understand that we are called to be like Jesus. We are called to love people in season and out of season. We are called to love them whether they're good or bad. We are called to love them where they're circling in the garbage. We are called to love them regardless of what they're all about. But there are several species of dogs. And I like to take a few minutes to deal with a few of these dogs by list and by characteristic. First one, have you ever been bitten by a dog? If you've ever been bitten by a dog, then you know that a dog will bite you. And if you don't watch out, one with a bad disposition will try and tear you apart. But all I can say is, if you you did not learn from the first time you were bitten, then you got to watch them dogs. You need to watch them. As St. Paul, the writer of this text, first of all, he wanted to talk about the alley dog. An alley dog was this pariah dog that always had his head in the trash, in the garbage. Every time you turn around, we have some pariah dogs always in somebody else's garbage, always trying to stir up somebody else's scent, always meddling in somebody else's trash. They're always just into something that's up to nothing. But we need to beware, but don't mess with them dogs. Just watch them dogs. You need to watch them dogs in everything that they do. Oh, I'm talking about the danger of calling people dogs. I'm about to slow this thing down, because you know, if you call a brother man a dog, brother man's ready to jump on you. It's dangerous to call somebody a dog, because you call them a dog, then they begin to want to get back at you. The only time you can call somebody a dog, I mean, years ago, the Funkadelics came out with the one talking about the bionic dog. And people thought it was all right to be a bionic dog. And then we've always had this thing where if I call you a big dog, then I've just given you credibility that it's okay to be nasty. I'm just giving a disclaimer. But the Bible uses the word to imply a dog is something bad. Proverbs 26:11, like dogs that return to his own vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. Sometimes we have people that will just turn around into the same mess all the time, and you need to watch them dogs, because that same dog may want to come up and lick your hand. Somebody say, you better watch them dogs. Psalms 22:20 says, deliver my soul from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dog. See, because a lot of times when you look at this, a dog personality, a dog characteristic is the thing that causes you, touch somebody and say, be dogged out. You better watch them dogs. Psalms 59:14 and 15 says, each evening they come back howling like dogs and prowling about the city. They wander about for food and growl if they don't get their fill. We got some evil workers out here. Evil workers that have a habit of being creeping and destructive. Evil workers that's always putting folly in the air. Don't mess with them dogs. Don't you bother them dogs, but you need to watch them dogs. Amen. There is a town dog. A city dog is one of no pedigree. He mixed with anything and everything. He gets caught up in everybody else's mess, everybody else's characteristic. You can't tell this dog from other dogs because they all look, smell, and act just alike. They're always traveling together in a patch, and those kind of dogs can get on your last nerve. In my house in Charlotte, I have one of those city dogs, and every time I come in my driveway and get out of my car, this dog is always just a whoop, 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 just a whoop, with all the time, just a whoop. And then you watch him, he's just running around his yard, and always just a whooping and a whooping and a whooping. If I go in my backyard, he wants to come out there and start a whooping. I wish he would stay in his own yard and tend to his own business. But a lot of times we have these dogs, and they're always getting everybody else in a tizzy. And we have some of those dogs in the church. They'll come in here, ain't good for nothing but whooping. We'll not do a thing but whoop. Won't hit a lick at a stick, but they'll whoop. They are those kind of dogs that have no pedigree. They say that they are saved, but you wonder what they saved with. But they're always just a howling, always into some mess. I'm just talking about the town dog. That old trash dog that always into somebody else's mess. Always meddling in somebody else's business. Don't take them 15 minutes and they'll stir up more hell than the devil can plant. I'm talking about a whooping. Oh, I wasn't going to, can I say that? No good church pastor will allow those dogs to be free to run around in the church. No worth account Christian should allow that dog to run without putting a leash on it. But if it's not your dog, just watch that dog. Then he goes on and talk about the bird dog. And then he says in this message that there's two types of bird dogs. There's a pointer, and then there's a setter.
That's right.
A pointer is one that will never kill the bird. If the hunter is out there and has a bird dog that's a pointer, all he's going to do is just point it out. He might run in the bushes and shake it up, but first he's just going to point it out. He won't get his hands dirty. He won't even get his mouth filtered with the mess. He's just going to point out the bird. And we have some people in the church, they're so busy being a pointer that they can't even get saved themselves. But I've learned that when I point that way, I have three more pointing back at me. So all you pointing dogs, you need to check yourself, because you may be talking about yourself. But you know, one thing about a pointer dog, see, Judas was a pointing dog. He didn't want to go over and kill Jesus. He just wanted to say that the one that I kiss, that's the one that you need to kill. So many of us are kissing people and stabbing them in the back. But a pointer dog will only just point you out. Now, I don't know which is worse, a pointer or a setter. Being a pastor of a church, sometimes a setter might make the preacher cuss. The setter is one that will come over here, sit in your meeting, when it's time to put a motion on the floor, be the first one to raise his hand and say, Brother Preacher, I think we're moving a little too fast. I would like to take your proposal home and study it. And they study it so long the paper turned brown. Setters are the ones that will sit over there when you're trying to plan a program, and they're always trying to stop it because they don't have time to come to church. A setter is one that only comes to church just to stop any kind of growth or transition or transformation in the church. A setter is one that's set in his ways and not about to be transformed. A setter is one that don't believe the power of the anointing is able to transform their mind, because all they want to do is just. A setter ain't good for nothing. Even a good bird dog is just a setter. It doesn't do any good to just sit there. Eventually you need to at least chase him out so I can get a good shot. But so many of us, all we want to do is just sit down on Jesus. Now this fifth dog that I want to talk about is one that a lot of people have in their homes today. It's that dog that you would take to the vet and make sure that they give them a good shampoo and a good haircut. Some of you may call that the parlor dog. Every time you go in their house, you smell like dog, because the parlor dog likes to get up on the sofa and drag his backside over the sofa. Oh, I know the parlor dog nails are been trimmed and painted. I know the parlor dog has on these nice little flashlight things around their neck. These parlor dogs, they even tell them that you got to have a certain type of oil or spray on them so they always smell good. But a parlor dog is still just a dog. It may not be good for anything else, but it looks good, it smells good, it's cute to look at. But if you don't watch it too long, it'll be just like an old house 50 dog. So you gotta watch those parlor dogs. Besides, if you ask the dog to do something, all it wants to do is crawl under the sofa. If somebody come over and scare him, it'll go crawl under the bed. It won't even bark loud enough to give you a warning to be prepared for something. See, a parlor dog is one, at least they're not gossiping all the time because they're too vain and too pretty to be good for anything else but to just look at. I'm just talking about these dogs.
Yes, sir.
Now this next dog, and this next dog is one that can be like a lot of people in the community. This next dog, I changed it from the original, and I changed it to a Terrier. A Terrier is a dog that it's one that a lot of people likes to have. When you begin to look at the characteristics of this Terrier, it tells me that this Terrier is one that's a little feisty. This little guy is full of energy and character. It can be alarmingly assertive. The only problem with an alarmingly assertive dog, it ain't no bigger than that. But it's always just a yap, 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 yap. Every time you turn around, it's just a yap, 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 yap. And so let me tell you the story about this Terrier dog. This Terrier dog would always, in the morning, scratch on the door so it can go sit out on the porch. And knowing that the front yard was fenced in, so this little Terrier would go out there every day. Just so happened right beside it was this big old Doberman Pinscher. And every day when the owner of the Doberman Pinscher would begin to walk down the street, the Terrier would run out there and jump against the fence and then yap, 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 all the way down the fence. Just a yap, yap, yap. And then, this Doberman would just keep his head straight up and just keep on walking. Every day you got to hear this yap, 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 yap. Sometimes you get tired of hearing this yap, 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 yap. But a Terrier dog is one like that. It ain't good for a whole lot, but at least it'll make a lot of noise. But sometimes they can get on your last nerve. And then one day, the wife leaves the house in a hurry. And in her exiting, she forgot to latch the gate. And this Terrier is still sitting over there, and he sees his nemesis coming down the street, and he sits there waiting because he got a certain time and a timing for everything. He want to wait right when that Doberman get right at the gate, and he's just sitting there. You know how they do. They just sitting over there, and they just wiggling their tail, and they just sitting over there snarling. You know, sometimes you've seen some of them little yappers. And this day, he runs out there, and he hit the gate swings open. The Terrier looks up and he's looking right in the face of the Doberman. And the Doberman says to himself, I've been waiting on this day. And all of a sudden this Doberman turned this little Terrier every which way but loose. And he just flipping him and spinning him. And he finally let him go. And the Terrier crawls back on the steps and says, who in the hell left the gate open? Don't mess with them dogs. You need to watch them dogs. That's why it's a problem. In our churches, we have some Terriers. Long as the gate is closed, they're always a-yapping. But as soon as they get face to face, Brother Preacher, I don't see anything wrong. They've been beating on you all month long, Brother Preacher. I believe you misquoted me. As soon as they get back behind the gate, behind the scene, where the person is not sitting in front of them, then they want to start that yap, 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 yap all over again. All I'm going to say is don't mess with them dogs, just watch them dogs.
Right.
I have to confess, when I looked at some of the dogs and began to see what's going on inside of some dogs. The reason I have to confess, because there's some dogs out there that's more loyal than some of us.
Amen.
And I'm going to try to remember some of these dogs as I began to think about it. Most of y'all grew up when there was a dog called Ren 1010. Ren 1010 would do anything that it could for his master. If the master got hurt, he would lay down in the rain, in the cold. Ren 1010 would be there. Ren 1010 would try to keep the enemy away. Ren 1010 would do all that he could. And if you wasn't a Ren 1010 fan, there was another one called Lassie. Sometimes I thought Lassie had more sense than the owner. Lassie would figure out things when other people couldn't, because he was always thinking about what he could do to make sure his master was taken care of. And Lassie was that kind of dog. There was another one on this little airplane named King. King was a dog. There was another one that was aggressive, but he was smart and he was always obedient to his master. And I look at these dogs and I began to wonder, you know, there's some dogs in some of y'all houses, some of y'all backyard. You walk out there, they'll do anything in the world for you. If you got a pit bull, it may be bad to everybody else in the world, but that pit bull will get a hold of something and won't let it go because it's going to protect you. You may have a German Shepherd. A German Shepherd is one of the best watchdogs to watch over your kids and take care of your home, because they're just that faithful to their master. But when I began to think about it, then I began to think about people in the Bible. I can imagine when John finally gave his life to Jesus. I can imagine when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was sitting there sleeping on the job and Jesus called him out. I can imagine then he was so ashamed, he knew that I'd never go to sleep on him again. I will stay with him to the end. Even though he denied him, he had to come back and fix it right, because he was there through the thick and through the thin. It didn't say anything else about the other disciples, but John was there. There's another one that wasn't one of the disciples, but he was going down Damascus highway, had permission to go over here and destroy him. But when Paul finally had an encounter with Jesus, he stayed with him. He didn't mind going to prison. He didn't mind going through some things. He was going to stay there because he was faithful to his master. I just want to ask the question tonight. Is there anybody here tonight faithful to the Most High God? Is there anybody here tonight that's willing to stay with him through the storm and the rain? Is there anybody here tonight that's willing to walk by faith and not by sight? Is there anybody here tonight that refused to turn your back on Jesus? Is there anybody here tonight? Remember, we say watch them dogs. Somebody's watching your faith journey. Somebody's watching whether or not you're faithful over a few things. Somebody's watching whether or not you're obedient to the point that you're not going to turn back. So I'm going to say to you this evening, you need to learn to be like a good, humble, obedient dog. You need to stay with Jesus. You need to stay there. You need to stay there when the choir won't go. You need to stay there. You need to stay there when the preacher's not right. You need to stay there. You need to stay there when the storms of life are raising. Somebody needs to understand. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there in the good times. Stay there in the bad times. Knowing that my Jesus is going to be with me. Because he said he will never leave me nor forsake me. I'm just trying to call out tonight some faithful dogs of Christ. Somebody that's going to believe. Somebody that's going to kneel at his feet. Somebody that's going to be there. Somebody that's going to wipe it. Somebody that's going to love him. Somebody that's going to serve him. All I'm saying, stay there to the end. Because somebody's watching your faith journey. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.